Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, and it is Saturday. Um, Cowboys are prepping for their home game against the LA Rams, and that game is tomorrow, Sunday, 4:25 Eastern Standard Time. Um, Look, I know what some of you guys are thinking, like, oh, here we go, another game that the Cowboys are gonna lose. Look, I'm not here to try to pump your head up with a whole bunch of hoopla or tell you that the Cowboys are going to make this miraculous run to come back and win the division and make it to the playoffs and get to the NFC Championship game and make it to the Super Bowl and possibly have a chance to play for a title this year. You know, in the beginning of the season, this is what we thought. We thought that the Cowboys were going to do something. We thought they were going to win. But after winning your first three games of the season, you were riding high. All these commentators and haters kept saying, "Oh, the Cowboys ain't played nobody yet. Just wait and see." So I hate to tell them, I hate to say it, but they were right. Cowboys have not won against a team that has a record over 500, and we lost against a team that was under 500, which was the Jets at the time. Now, even then, when we lost to the Jets, we thought that, hey, we're going to come back, we're going to win some games, we're going to do some things. So you bounce back with a win against the Eagles, and then you lose again against the Vikings, and then you lose against the. You get another win in there, and then you lose again against the New England Patriots. You know, we weren't expected to win that game anyway, but even as we like to call it, the Monsoon Bowl. It was you almost won that. You almost won that. You could have got that game for Thanksgiving against the Buffalo Bills. You should have won that. You let Josh Allen look like a Hall of Famer. Then you turn right back around the next Thursday and you go up to Chicago, and you lose to the Bears and you make Mitchell Trubisky look like Lamar Jackson. A lot of embarrassing games this year. A lot of us fans, you know, seeing other fan bases and they just talking about some, oh, how about them Cowboys now? So we're just sitting there like, okay, here we go again. And we have to go through this narrative over and over again to try to figure out where our team is. Now, look, we're playing against the Rams tomorrow. I know a lot of people are not expecting us to win this game, and I guess you could say neither am I. But it's any given Sunday, guys. You never know what'll happen. Um, you know the old saying that they say when you win a bunch of games, you are one step closer to losing, and when you lose a bunch of games, you can't do nothing but go up and get better. They talk to the Cowboy players. You know, they're basically saying, "Hey, we just got to execute better." They really don't have any secret ingredient to the reason why they're not winning, but they got to figure out something to turn around. We speculate a lot of different things. Is it Jason Garrett's fault? Is it the defensive coordinator's fault? Is it the players that are just not executing? There's a lot of questions right now. Did the players give up? Is Jason Garrett's message to the team just stale and they're not listening no more? What is the situation? What is the case? What are we dealing with here? So you look at the different scenarios and you're sitting here like, okay, how are we gonna match this Rams team? Which in the beginning of the season they weren't doing as well either because they dropped the three games the same time we did. We actually had the same record until they won two that we didn't win, which is how they have an 8-5 record, and we are just sitting at 6-6. I mean 6-7, below 500 at the moment. Now, um, you don't have that many games in the season, so it's not like basketball where you're playing like 180 games, 182 games, where how many games they play, you don't have time for losing streaks like that. You got to get back on. You can't stay off kilter. You gotta stay focused and win these games. And you know the Cowboys can't rally from a 3-5 record back in last season. Can they do it again this season? It might be too late. There's only three games left, including this one. So you know you got this, and you got two division games. You got to win that Philly game if you thinking about going to the playoffs. But another question is, do you want the Cowboys to even go to the playoffs, considering the fact that right now, the way the things are seated, San Francisco, I think, is the fifth seed, so you would play them in the first round of the playoffs. And I don't think you want to do that. I'd rather play Seattle or I'd rather play Seattle or any other team but the 49ers and the Saints. I don't want to play them either, but you kind of, it is what it is. I just don't think that we have what it takes right now. This team is just not focused. These players are missing tackles on defense. Um, Dak's communication with his receivers, I don't know what happened with that. They're dropping balls. He's late on his releases sometimes. It's a lot of things going on. Everybody has something they need to work on right now. Everybody. But that's neither here nor there. As we go into it, guys, Dallas Cowboys are second in offense because they dropped. They're seventh in defense, first in passing, and 10th in rushing. Now we dropped from what, the fifth spot? It's crazy. And Ezekiel Elliott still has over 1,000 yards, which is mind-boggling. The LA Rams, they are eighth in offense, sixth in defense, sixth in passing, and 21st in rushing. And that 21st in rushing is kind of a skewed number because, as Sean McVay said, they weren't using Gurley earlier in the season to try to rest him up for the stretch run. And it looks like he woke up at a good time for them, but a bad time for the Dallas Cowboys for them to be hot right now. And you already know how running backs do against this team. That we get gashed and we can't defend the middle of the field. I don't know what it is. These running backs are just running straight up the gut and just getting 30 yards of kick. Tight ends are killing us on these seam routes. We're just getting killed on the screen game and some of the stuff that I kept saying that we should have been doing for other teams, they are killing us week in and week out. So we have to do something better. We got to figure it out. We just got to get better as a team. Because if you keep on going like this, it's going to be too late. You might as well go ahead and just wait for the draft and start again next season. As I said, Cowboys have a 6-7 record. The Rams are 8-5. The Rams are playing. Both teams need this game. Rams probably need it more than the Cowboys do because technically the Cowboys, only thing they need to do is win their last two games to make it to the playoffs. The Rams got to win out. Period. Because their division is much better than us. It's crazy that we're 6-5 and we're tied with the Philadelphia Eagles for first place in the division. But we win the tiebreaker because we have more division wins than the Eagles do currently at this moment in time. Dak Prescott right now, he has 4,122 yards for the season, 24 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. To Jared Goff's 3,712 yards, 15 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. So his passing has not been the greatest, but again, with Sean McVay being his coach, he's able to get Jared Goff back when he slides off kilter. I really think that his coach is his saving grace. Must be nice to have a great coach, guys. Yeah, must be nice. Ezekiel Elliott, 246 attempts, 1,071 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Against Todd Gurley's 177 attempts, 721 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Amari Cooper, he's been hit or miss because of his injuries and things of that nature. So the Cowboys have been using him kind of sparingly. So even with that being said, he's still over 1,000 yards, 70 receptions, 1,500, 1,000, 1,054 yards, 8 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp has 77 receptions, 990 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Now, and I'll talk about some of the matchups with the players and stuff in a second. The only person that's out for them in this game, it looks like, is Gerald Everett, which is their tight end. But their other tight end has stepped up. Tyler Higbee. I saw him when they played against the Seattle Seahawks. He killed them in the seam. We get burnt by tight ends too. We don't play good against good tight ends. Look, the Bears were playing their backup guy. I think it was a rookie, Holtz. That big country cornfed white dude. He kicked our butt. And I know nobody had Holtz in fantasy because he's a rookie. He was a backup player. It seems like everybody pads their stats when they play against the Cowboys. It's crazy. But on our side, Sean Lee is questionable with a pec. So that's what I meant to say. So Cowboys made a move because Sean Lee is questionable. They don't know what his status is going into the game because we don't have Leighton Vander Esch for the foreseeable future. Um, they called up Chris Covington. You guys remember him? Our linebacker that we had. He was on the practice squad. They brought him up and they just cut the offensive lineman Caleb Beno Knock that we had just signed 2 weeks ago. But they released the offensive lineman Caleb Beninock, and they brought up Chris Covington to be on the 53 man to basically have coverage for our linebackers because we need that right now. And I know some of you guys might be a little excited about that because you wanted to see Chris Covington play, which is good. Michael Bennett, it was funny to see him on the injury report. He had a foot injury or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he's going to play, but he's listed as questionable here. Leighton Vander Esch, like I said, he's out. He's still dealing with that little neck thing. I think it's a little bit more than a stinger at this point because again, I just really hope that it's not a career threatening type of injury. The Cowboys are gunning to make it to the playoffs. This is the reason why they haven't put him on IR yet. Ventrell Bryant, the wide receiver, he actually scored a touchdown this year. Ironically, it's funny because when he did, everybody was like, I think he did it on the Thanksgiving game when we played the Bills. Everybody was like, there's a Bryant? A lot of people didn't know that he was on the team. We have a wide receiver Bryant on the team that's not Dez? Yeah, Ventrell. He was on the practice squad, and they had brought him up, I think, a couple of months back, earlier in the season. But he's dealing with a little knee issue. He's questionable, but he more than likely will play, or he'll just be inactive. That's it with the injuries. Everybody else seems to came back to practice. I think Antoine Woods should be good to go, but look, the way we're playing right now, we need all hands on deck. You got Dak Prescott, he said that he's going to be okay. He taped up his hands and his fingers and stuff, and he said that he was going to wear that little glove thing or whatever. So we'll see what happens with him. But we need Dak Prescott to be on his A game if we're going to beat these Rams because we have to run the ball. Ezekiel Elliott is going to be key in this game. After looking at some film of the Rams, even though their defensive line is hella stout, they have some faults as well. If you get them on some nice blocks, you can get some good runs in between the seams on these guys. One thing that our offensive line is good at doing is pulling. We haven't been doing a lot of pulling this year. It's where your offensive line either shifts to the left or the right side, and as you run the football, either if you're doing a misdirection or you're doing a if you're doing handoffs to direct to the right or the left, your offensive line goes in that direction. So what happens is when the line shifts, the whole line just moves with the running back, and they're basically it's like a moving bridge, a moving wall that's helping Zeke get around that corner. So I think if they do a lot of those, do some hurry up and misdirection, that's going to be key in this game. If the Cowboys can somehow make up a game plan because it doesn't seem like they ever game plan. Jason Garrett keeps saying the same damn thing over and over again when they ask him about switching things up. He just basically said that we have to switch things up. He keeps saying that, but you're not doing it. You haven't done it in the 10 seasons that you've been the coach. So that's the problem that I have with his responses. They're stupid. They don't make sense. It's like when they ask him a question, he just basically says what they said over again and basically said that's what we need to do, not like, oh, we're working on that. Because again, you're not working on that because you're not doing that. He sees it. He's not dumb. He's a Princeton graduate. So for him to be a coach and that smart and not understand, I don't know what it is. I think Jason is just stubborn, and he's got to stop that because your stubbornness is going to get you out this door. And the fans are not. We're pissed. We're not liking that right now, and that's the part that sucks. But again, if me as a YouTuber, me as a standard fan, I'm no better than any of you watching this video right now. I'm just a guy that likes the Cowboys that just happens to do videos. That's it. I'm nobody special. At the end of the day, I just don't understand if I see the things that they're doing and some of the things I'm saying, if they would just do it and do it and execute it, it will work because other teams do it with no problem. No problem. when you play against a team, you have to adjust to how they're playing against you. If they're stopping what you're doing, adjust that. And you don't have to stop exactly what you're doing, just do it in a different way. Like, for instance, if we're running the ball and you're running your head into the middle and they keep stacking 8 guys in the box, well, dump the ball off to the outside. Do some screen throws to Ezekiel Elliott. Put Ezekiel Elliott on a wheel route. He can catch the ball. You got Pollard coming back this game, so you can use Pollard and him interchangeably. Hell, put them on the field at the same time. Do some mixed direction. Confuse this defense. Get Aaron Donald off of his feet, so he can't just keep coming at Dak Prescott. They have to. If they do these are small things. It's just fundamentals. It's not trickery. It's just fundamental football. You see what the defense is doing, and you attack their weaknesses. That is the game, and that's the key. You know what I mean? It's a whole list of keys to this game, right? But the only thing that matters is the Cowboys have to come in this game on offense. I'm talking specifically on offense right now. They have to come in and they have to see what the defense is doing and combat against that. It's very simple. It's not that damn hard. Defense. Oh my God, we run the same coverages over and over and over again. First of all, Wade Phillips is still upset that this team let him go the way that they did. And I'll be pissed too. Every opportunity he has to embarrass the Dallas Cowboys, he will do that and has done that. You remember, this is technically a rematch to the division round game in the playoffs last season that we got our ass punished by the Rams by C.J. Anderson, just running straight up the middle. Both him and Todd Gurley had over 100 yards. They treated us like we did Miami. So, if you don't want to get embarrassed, guys, how about we tackle? How about that? Just tackle on defense. Don't play outside of yourself. Stop trying to make the highlight play. Tackle the guy on the ground and get your ass back in line and get ready to do it again. Let's get some turnovers. Apply some pressure on the Jared Goff. Because Jared Goff will throw you some interceptions. He has what? 14 on the year? That guy will give you a gift. If you pressure Jared Goff, he would throw you an interception. But right now, I just don't have faith in the Dallas Cowboys that they're going to be able to win this team because right now the Rams have too much firepower and they're hot and ready to go. And McVay got them right. They are working hard for McVay. That defense is working for Wade Phillips because you ain't gonna sit here and tell me that Wade Phillips ain't sitting in that defensive boardroom and got a picture of Garrett, got a picture of Jerry Jones, and like this. These are the guys that screwed me over, y'all. Y'all gonna let them continue to screw me over? You gotta win this for me. And first of all, Wade Phillips is a player's coach. He's a great defensive coach. He's not a great head coach, but he's a damn good defensive coordinator. And I would still love to have him on this team as a defense coordinator if we could have. But you know that ship has sailed. The way you let him go for Jason Garrett and you got 10 years of this guy, it's a bunch of collusion with that. But I'm not going to get into the politics of it. But all I'm going to say is that Wade Phillips is ready. And he knows how to play against these Dallas Cowboys. And he going to kick our ass. If we don't switch things up and do stuff that we don't normally do, and I keep saying this every week, but they don't do it. So until they do it, the Cowboys ain't going to win this game. If they keep going and doing what they do. Now again, it's any given Sunday. The point spread was +3 for the Cowboys, but it was 3 for the Cowboys, but it went to 1 for the Rams now. That must have took a lot of money from some high stakes people in Vegas to change that spread because normally when you're the home team, you normally get that 3, but they ain't getting that 3. So with that being said, I don't see the Dallas Cowboys winning this game. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but again, you never know. One thing I do know about my Cowboys is this: whenever we count them out, and even when the analysts are counting them out, long as the analysts are saying, "Oh, the Cowboys gonna win," we lose. As soon as you say the Cowboys gonna lose, all of a sudden the spark gets in their head, and all of a sudden they start winning games they ain't supposed to. So. I'm not saying that they can't pull this game out, but they got to be on their P's and Q's. Dak Prescott cannot be late throwing that ball. His release has to be right on the mark on his receivers. Don't throw the ball behind these. You got to lead them into the ball. Now, don't get me wrong. Dak Prescott does throw a good ball in tight spaces, but on those crossing routes, They got Jalen Ramsey out there. They got that young guy Hill. These guys are gamblers. They will pick that ball off. They are ball hawks. That's what we don't have on our defense. So keep playing around, and you don't get embarrassed out there in your own turf. You don't want to keep getting embarrassed at home at AT&T Stadium. So I feel like if like I said, if the Cowboys tackle and make sure they get the guy on the ground and don't allow yards after catch on offense, Dak Prescott plays sound. He just stays in control and stay poised and puts the ball on the mark to get these receivers into the game. They might try to stop Amari Cooper, so you got Gallup, you got Randall Cobb. These guys got to step up and do something. And let's put Tavon Austin in the game on something. Even if you need to do a jet sweep or something, just get something in there just to get him the ball in his hands. Because you got guys on this team that can do things. Just finally utilize it. That's all I'm saying. But that's all I have for right now. Let me go. Let me know what you guys think about this game and who's gonna win. I ain't doing no game predictions. I'm just gonna say that until the Cowboys show me otherwise, it's probably an L. But thanks again to all my subscribers. I appreciate you guys, and when you guys come in on my live streams and stuff like that, I definitely appreciate the love and the support. Definitely can't do it without you guys. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, get that notification so you can see what's going on with your boy and the content that I'm bringing. With that being said, it's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Let's go Cowboys for tomorrow.